Hello there everybody, Jordan back again with another video, and today we are previewing the month of April 2026, looking at all the horror slash thriller movies that are coming next month. And there are 10 titles here that are on my radar. I'm not gonna go over every single title that's coming out because there are some movies that don't really look like they take my fancy or whatever, but I think I've got most bases covered in the movies that look like they're going to be a lot of fun here, to be honest. Now, these are sometimes difficult to talk about because I haven't actually seen the movie. I can only speculate on how good it's going to be or whatever, going by the trailer or maybe some early reactions from film festivals or whatever, the director, who's in it. You know, I can only speculate how I'm going to enjoy it. So, yeah, that's basically the video. I'm going to go in release order here, guys, starting from the earliest to the later releases in the month. So let's get into it now. In the 10th of April, we do have 5 titles coming out on this day. Bit of a jam-packed weekend, that one. First up on the 10th of April, we do have Hunting Matthew Nichols. This is a mockumentary slash found footage movie where it kind of merges both of them filming styles together there. And it looks like it's kind of like Shelby Oaks a little bit there, where it's got this young girl going in search of her brother who has been missing for many years. I think he went missing with his friend there. And she's going to go and try and find out where he is, but it looks like it's got a little bit of a cult angle going for it in the horror department. I like found footage movies. They are very, very easy to watch, in my opinion, and they can be very effective with their scares if done right, because they seem very realistic at times, just the way they are directed. I've got to say, though, going by this trailer, I'm interested in the mystery and everything of where this young kid's gone and how the movie's going to play out, but it looks like there's a little bit of weird comedy thrown in, which I'm not quite sure about. So this one isn't really on the high end of my radar of ones I'm looking forward to, but I'll check it out nonetheless. It's a found footage film. I'm always in the mood for found footage. So that is Hunting Matthew Nichols. Next up, we do have The Yeti. And I've got a feeling, guys, this is going to be a little bit of a surprise. I haven't really seen anyone review this movie on Letterboxd or anything. Doesn't have any scores going for it. I don't think many people have even seen it. But I've just got a feeling here that I'm going to like this film. It stars Jim Cummings, who I really liked in Last Stop to Yuma County. It's got William Sadler in there. Die Hard 2, of course. And it's also got Corbin Bernsen in here, who plays the dentist in the dentist movies, you know, and he's a really great actor. You know, a lot of things I've seen him in, he just puts a performance in most of the time. So with that little cast there, I think there must be something to this movie. And it follows a very similar story to The Hunting of Matthew Nichols, where a bunch of characters go to the Alaskan wilderness and try and find out what happened to their relatives. But there may be this huge creature there that is stalking them in this little cabin that they're staying in. And they're trying to find out the mystery of what happened to them and everything. And it's probably going to be linked to this creature. I don't know what it was about this trailer that has me really intrigued. I only found out about it when I looked up what was coming next month. And when I watched the trailer, I was even more intrigued. Kind of looks like it has a bit of a comic book flavor thrown in there with a little bit of Tarantino style directing. I don't know, man. That's just kind of the vibe I got from the trailer. And I do have a good feeling about this one, guys. You know, something called The Yeti wouldn't usually be something I'd be interested in. But when I looked up more about this movie and the cast and everything, I thought, yeah, I'm definitely going to be checking this one out. This is coming straight to VOD. And I think The Hunting for Matthew Nichols, I forgot to say, is getting a limited cinema release. And then a few days later, it might be getting a digital release. So, yeah, that is The Yeti. Next up, we do have Faces of Death. And when I first heard this movie was coming this year, I had no idea what to expect, because the original Faces of Death is just a bunch of real death clips put into one movie. I know some of them are actually fake as well. But I just thought, how the hell are they going to remake that? I mean, what are they actually going to do with that concept? And it's actually coming to cinemas. I mean, it just baffled my brain. Then I seen the trailer and I fully understood where it was going to go. So this is from the director of How to Blow Up a Pipeline. I didn't actually see that film, but I heard a lot of people say that it was a pretty good movie. And this sees a little bit of a Human Centipede 2 concept going for it. I don't particularly mean in you know, with the disgusting gore or anything, although this film I feel like is going to be gory. But what I mean by that is in the Human Centipede 2, that character Martin is obsessed with the original Human Centipede film. And it's kind of going to be like, you know, a self-aware movie, if you like, where this character, going by this trailer, looks like he's obsessed with the Faces of Death films, and he's putting all these clips online and everything to try and reenact the Faces of Death movie that he's obsessed with. And it all is about this content sort of supervisor who looks at content online to see what's going on, and she stumbles across these clips, and then she goes to investigate where they're coming from and find out if they are actually real. So I think this sounds like a very promising script, really good way of getting Faces of Death back out there. It's got Charlie XCX in as well. I know a lot of people, she's a very popular singer, I believe. I've never really listened to any of her music, but apparently she's in there and she's a huge horror fan. But I think this one, I have high hopes for it. I mean, I really do think, or hope, should I say, that they go there with the brutal gore and, you know, don't hold back a little bit, because the Faces of Death was a video nasty. So it kind of really has to live up to that, in my opinion. Just hope they don't play it safe and they go for it. Now, these are UK release dates, what I'm talking about here. Apparently, this is getting a worldwide release on the same day. I've just got a bad feeling that the UK will not get this, though. I've not seen it advertised in my Odeon, in the upcoming films or anything, but fingers crossed, sometimes them showings will show up late and we do actually get them. I'm really hoping we get this one, guys, because I'm really looking forward to it. So that is Faces of Death. Next up, we have Thrash, which is another shark movie coming to Netflix. They did Under Paris a couple of years ago, didn't they? And they've probably seen a little gap in the market that people like to click on shark movies, me included. But this is directed by Tommy Wakola, who is responsible for some really good films in the past, like Dead Snow and Violent Night. It's got Deepman Hansu in there, who is a wonderful actor. Looks like he's taken the main role of this movie. And this looks like it's in the same vein as the movie Crawl, if you remember that film where this huge flood come to the town and these alligators were roaming about. Here, it looks like it's doing the same thing with this huge hurricane that hits, and we've got, you know, the tide coming in, taking over this town, and it is sharks instead of alligators. And it looks like there's some really good action set pieces here. Probably going to see sharks roaming through sunken houses or sunken supermarkets or whatever. I think that could really, you know, have some really fun added to this movie with that. And it looks like one of the main characters, the main female protagonist, is pregnant as well. So there's a few more stakes raised there. Looks like it's on a little bit of a bigger budget than your usual shark movie. That, you know, we seem to get it that all the time, don't we? There's just so many of them coming out the last few years, like the Black Demon and stuff. Into the Deep, was it called? With Scout Taylor Compton in last year. I don't think it was called that, but it was something else. But we've had some really bad shark movies over the past few years. But this one, I've got good feeling about this one. I think it's going to be pretty awesome. So really looking forward to that. That is Thrash. Now, next up, we do have Undertone, and I say that with not very enthusiastic breath, guys, because I'm just sick of the UK getting these movies later, especially when it comes to A24. This is already out in the US, but I thought I'd mention it anyway. I actually did mention it last month, and the release date changed, and we got it here in the UK a month later. I'm still looking forward to this film. I think it looks really creepy. I know some of you may have seen it already. This is about a podcast host who is getting sent these weird audio tapes, and strange things seem to be happening around the house where she is podcasting. I think that looks like a really cool concept, using sound to basically give you the chills instead of, you know, visuals, if you like. I don't know how it's going to play out. Some people may think I'm talking crap who've seen the movie, but that's the vibe I get from the trailer. But I've heard a few mixed opinions on this one. A lot of people saying it was a bit of a letdown, but a lot of people saying they really like it. I'll be checking it out anyway, but just thought I'd mention it because that is a UK release date this month on the 10th of April in cinemas. So that is Undertone. On the 17th of April, we do have one of the biggest releases, not just of the month, but probably of the year, and that is Lee Cronin's The Mummy, who, of course, he did bring us The Evil Dead Rise a couple of years ago, which I was a huge fan of, really enjoyed that movie. And this one looks a very different take on the story of The Mummy, really. I mean, it might just be in title, and it might just be doing a totally different thing to other Mummy movies we've got in the past, like the Universal Monster one and everything. But I'm very interested in this film. I really like the concept of this one. This is about a couple whose daughter went missing 8 years before this movie has taken place. And she is suddenly found in Egypt in a sarcophagus, believe it or not, and she's still alive. So what is meant to be a happy reunion looks like it's taken a bit of a sinister turn here, because the daughter doesn't quite look the same. I mean, she looks creepy as fuck for one, but it looks like she's acting different and everything. Kind of give me Pet Sematary vibes, you know, where the family members come back, but they're not quite the same. And they take her home and everything, and it looks like so many weird shits happening around the house and all that. But I just think that's a really cool take on, you know, the title of The Mummy there. The trailer does seem to give it a lot away, though, and I do have my fears about this film, because it looks like it may be going for some telegraph jump scares here and there. Also, there's a little bit of CGI thrown in there, and I don't think that is ever scary. But Lee Cronin done such a good job with the Evil Dead movie that I'm really hoping that he'll knock it out the park once again here. A bit weird the way he's put his name on the title there, but I suppose there's so many different iterations of The Mummy that this is chance, really, isn't it? So why not? But yeah, it looks like a huge budget kind of blockbuster movie, really. I don't know what the budget is. I'm just going by the visuals of the trailer and everything, and it's coming to cinemas. It's the big release of the month, really. Now, there's one big one as well that I'm looking forward to, which I'll get to in a minute, towards the end of the month, that is going to hit cinemas. But this is the one that stands out, I think, for horror fans the most. So, yeah, really looking forward to this one. That is Lee Cronin's The Mummy. Just the one that will release on the 20th of April. I think this is coming straight to VOD, and that is Itch. Now, this looks really cool, actually, and very interesting, where it's a new take on how to catch a virus. Apparently, if you get infected with something and you itch yourself for more than a few seconds, you turn, basically, and turn into this ravaged person, virus-infected person, whatever you want to call it. I don't want to say zombie, because it doesn't seem quite like that. But yeah, going by the trailer, it looks like it's all taking place in this department store, which kind of looks like The Mist, really, where characters are holed up in this store, and the outside is just a wreck, and they're trying to stop it getting in the store, really. But it looked like it kind of had some brutal moments in the trailer and everything, some really gory deaths here and there. That's what it was hinting at anyway. This one, I think, has potential. But I did look on Letterboxd at some early reviews, and it does not have the best score, unfortunately. It does look a little bit low budget as well, which can hurt movies sometimes. I mean, I'm all for indie horror and low budget movies succeeding, but sometimes it can damage it if everything else isn't really working. So yeah, I'm kind of on the fence with this one, but I think it's a great concept. So we'll see. That is Itch. On the 24th of April, we do have that other huge hit I was looking forward to coming to the cinemas, and that is Over Your Dead Body. Now, I will put little clips of this movie in the video so you can look, but I am personally not going to watch the trailer, guys. I don't really want anything given away for me too much here. I've heard the concept. I've heard the early reviews and reactions of people from South by Southwest who came out to this movie and absolutely loved it. That's all I need to know. The concept with these two great actors who I love, Jason Segel and Samara Weaving, who are a couple going to this remote cabin, and their marriage is on the rocks a little bit, but they are both planning to kill each other unbeknownst to the other person. And that's all I need to know. I'm happy with that, and especially with hearing so many great positive reviews coming from the film festival. I'm all over it. I can't wait to see this movie. Absolutely love Samara Weaving. You know, she's in so many great horror movies, horror comedies as well, which is this. It kind of looks like more of a thriller comedy, if you like. I don't think there's too much horror involved here, but I'm kind of hoping there is some gory moments and stuff like that. I don't know, but yeah, I've heard there's so many great moments in this movie and everything. That's all I need to know, guys. I mean, I don't want to watch trailers for everything that I'm too excited about, but I've heard so many good things about this, and it just sounds like my cup of tea. So that is Over Your Dead Body. Next up, we do have Exit 8. This has actually just premiered at the Manchester Film Festival this month, but I didn't get a chance to go to that festival. Hopefully next year. And I know a few of my friends who've seen it. But This is based on a very short indie video game called Exit 8. And apparently it takes like an hour to finish the game. And I'm going to do exactly that before this movie comes out. Because I did it with Iron Lung. I wanted to enter the world of Iron Lung before going to see the film. Unfortunately, it was a huge disappointment. The game was better than the movie. But there must be something there to make a movie out of this. This looks like this guy who's stuck in a subway and he's got to try and get out of it. Otherwise, he goes back to the start, I believe. And he's got to look out for all these different anomalies that are happening and either ignore them or take notice of them. It's all within the rules, basically, of this escaping this subway. Looks like there's some creepy moments, especially with this guy in the trailer who's kind of walking around the subway. Looks exactly like the video game. I've just seen little images of the video game, but it looks exactly like that video game, which, we don't get too many great video game adaptations, do we, guys? It's weird that we're getting these little indie ones now as well, like this and Iron Lung, but I'm all for it. And it just looked very interesting. I'm all over this. I am. Looking forward to playing the game as well before it comes out. So that is Exit 8. And last up, guys, we do have Apex coming to Netflix. This looks like more of a thriller movie, to be honest. But this is directed by, I hope I'm pronouncing this name correctly, Baltazar Kormacor? And he directed the movie Everest and also Beast with Idris Elba. Two movies I think are pretty good, actually. And this stars Charlize Theron and Taron Egerton. And it sees Charlize Theron going on a solo backcountry woods style adventure trip on her own. And it looks like she's being hunted down by Taron Egerton, who basically wants to make her prey. And she's got to try and get away from him. Now, this really reminds me of a British movie called A Lonely Place to Die, which I really liked. It's about this sniper trying to take out a group of mountaineers. I really need to rewatch that movie, actually, now I'm thinking about it. It's a pretty underrated flick. But that's what this movie kind of looks like. And it's kind of them two up against each other, using the environment to outsmart each other and everything. I really like Taron Egerton. I loved him in the Kingsman movies. Really like Charlize Theron. Two great actors in here. And it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. So, really solid month coming up, I think, here. There's a lot to look forward to, guys. I'll try and review as many of these I can on the channel. But yeah, looking forward to all these, guys. So, that is Apex. Okay, guys, hope you all enjoyed this video. Now, I have started a TikTok where I do little mini reviews, not just of new films, but older ones as well, where I just want to give movie recommendations, usually holding up a Blu-ray or something there, but I do the new releases as well. So I'll leave my TikTok down below, guys, if you guys want to go and check it out, along with my Instagram and Letterboxd there. If you want to go and check me out and all that, I'll leave it down below. What do you think of these movies that are coming out? Do you think they look good? Is there anything I missed? What ones are you looking forward to? Please do let me know in the comments down below, and I'll get back to you all, I promise. If horror is your sort of thing and you want more from this channel, please give this video a like and subscribe. It would really help me out. And it's great to have you all on board. So thanks so much, guys. You all take care. And I'll see you all in the next video.